trophies, welcome back to my channel. It's Sophie, your favorite trophy, and today I'm going to be doing a little story time. I thought since school is going to be back in session and a lot of people are going to be going back to school, I might as well make a video talking about some of my roommate horror stories. I know a lot of people, when they go off to college, they have roommates or they live in a house and they have housemates or apartment mates, and it can get pretty crazy. So I thought I would share my story time, my housemate horror stories, and how I got through them and like the whole backstory behind them, and hopefully you enjoy. So yeah. Don't forget to subscribe since you're watching me. I know that some people are like, I can just check in for your videos, but no, subscribing really helps me out and I would greatly appreciate. In my junior year of college, I was living in a house with initially 3 other people, so it was like 4 girls in one house, and it was cool. Like, I was happy. I was going to be living with my best friend and 2 other close friends that I knew from school, and you know, things happened and 2 of my good friends had to leave school. When that happened, we had another person come in. It was the second semester of junior year, so we lived in the house for a whole year. The first semester I was with, the whole gang was together, and then the second semester 2 of the girls left and we had 1 girl that came in. The girl that came in, she first off didn't really ask us all together. She kind of asked 1 girl, and the girl was leaving, and she was really close friends with the girl that was moving in. And so, being the good friend that my friend was, she was like, okay, since we need another person, you can come in and live with us, which would be fine if she was a decent human being, which she was not. She was absolutely chaotic, and I'm going to explain why. So the first thing was, the girl didn't ask us. Now we're gonna call this girl Kentucky. That's what we're gonna call her. We're gonna call her Kentucky. So Kentucky asked my friend to move in because she needed a place. Things happened, and it was the second semester in the school year, and she needed a place to stay. And so she came and moved her stuff in unwarranted, didn't ask us, didn't ask the rest of the girls living in the house, but then she just came and moved her stuff in. And after that, we kind of was like, okay, like, you're moving in, like, that's fine. You might as well, you know, understand how things work within the house, like as far as rent and Wi-Fi and things like that. So we kind of made it a point that, you know, if you're gonna live here, you're gonna have to chip in and rent, because we were already nervous that 2 other girls were leaving, that we would have to pay more for rent. And we just wanted her to know, like, we really need this because we don't want to upset our landlord or anything like that. And so at first she agreed, which was cool, fine, dandy, like, whatever. For some reason she wasn't in school, she wasn't going to school, she was just kind of living in the college town that we were going to school at, and she was there, and she would be there all day long, all night. Things like that. She would have people over, it would be kind of loud and things like that. And at the time, like, personally, it wasn't always respected at all. And another thing was, she would always use the pots and pans and like kitchen utensils and things like that, and would never wash it. Like, it would be sitting there for days. I remember one time she made ramen noodles, and the ramen noodles was sitting on the stove for, I kid you not, like 5 days, pushing a week. And we would always text her like, hey, like, you know, we need to use the stuff, like, there's only 1 set of kitchen things, like, we need you to clean up and like have these things just in the right place and clean, so when we need to use it, we're able to use it without issues. And for some reason, like, she would just not clean it. Like, she wouldn't clean it, she didn't care or anything like that. We would text her and she would ignore us, and it was getting on our nerves so much. Besides that, besides not cleaning, she would not ever pay rent. She would not ever help with the Wi-Fi, because like initially we had a Wi-Fi package that was for the 4 girls that were in the house. Like, we were paying a higher form of Wi-Fi, and we were like, okay, since there's 4 girls, like, you know, we can all pay it. But then 2 girls left, and then the one girl, Kentucky, came in, and she just would not pitch in. And it was like, are you kidding me? Like, you're using it, you're home most of the day. And like, we would run out of Wi-Fi, like, it's not data, I don't forget what you call it, but like we would run out all the time. And it's like, the girl that I was housemates with, I almost said her name, I'm gonna call her Victoria. So Victoria and I, like, we would always be in class, so we weren't home to use the Wi-Fi like that. So we would just constantly get annoyed and be like, are you kidding me? Like what the hell? It's actually crazy everything we've been through the whole year with this person and just that house in general. So no, I know what happened. So before spring break, we, like, Victoria and I would just always hang out. Like, we would have a person or two over during the weekends and stuff like that when we were done like our homework and stuff. And so there was like one person who would always stay over. Like, it was chill, like we knew this person, like the person was cool, whatever. And the person would leave their stuff there during the week, because on the weekend they would just come back. And then this person left something, I'm just gonna say it was very expensive and very valuable, and it happened to have gone missing when it was left downstairs. And we usually, Victoria and I would always know who was in the house. Like, it was only us. We would always communicate with each other. We would always know who was in the house, who was not in the house. So we knew it wasn't any of our people that would come over, because one, we wouldn't have that many people that it would be like, oh, like this person is super suspicious and we can ask them, or we know it was them. Like, no, it was this person, Kentucky, that was downstairs. And Kentucky took it upon herself to take this very valuable thing, and we were just like, oh no, because we were like already livid that she didn't ask to come in. She would never wash her stuff. Like, everything would be a mess and it would be gross because of her. And then now things are going missing. So that was annoying as hell, and we were just over it. And then, so like, what were we supposed to think? What were we doing? We were just mad. Victoria and I, we would talk together. We would be like,
what the hell we gonna do now?
We were annoyed, and all this stuff was building up. So we went downstairs to where she was staying, because in the house it was like a two-story, no, yeah, it was a 2-story house. There was 3 bedrooms upstairs and 1 bedroom downstairs, and then there's like the living room and kitchen. And so we went downstairs to where she was in the downstairs bedroom, and we were like, hey, like, we know that you took the thing. What, like, are you doing? Why are you doing this? And do you really want to push us this far when you're not paying rent, you're not helping out with Wi-Fi, and you're causing chaos? We were just annoyed, and we let her know that we were like over it and you need to get your together. Like, we were just tired. We were tired. Like, we were livid. Like, it was already a stressful year for us because of so many things that were happening, and then something got taken from us, and we were just like come on, blame me and my ex-boyfriend at the time, because my ex-boyfriend had interest in the thing that gone missing. And she was like, well, it could be those two, because those two are known for, you know, doing whatever it was that was involved that thing. And we were just like, no, like, it's not us. Like, we don't need to steal anything. Like, I can buy anything if I really wanted it, but I don't want it, so, like, hello. Um, it was so stupid. So Victoria already knew that we didn't take it, and everything pointed back to her. So we were kind of like cracking down on her. We were like, the things that happened afterwards were like, you have to go now, period. Like, we were on spring break. What happened was, she had a girlfriend, and apparently she was cheating on her girlfriend or doing something that her girlfriend didn't like, or pissed off her girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or person she was just talking to. And her ex-girlfriend came into our house and took the microwave that was on the kitchen counter and just threw it. Glass was apparently everywhere. The cops were called, things like that, and we weren't even there. But we got a text during spring break from one of the girls that used to live in the house that was friends with Kentucky, and she was like, so this happened, and she came, and like the police were there, and this and that and the third, and we were like, this is the least, like this was the last thing that we needed, was police at our house. Like, our landlord is super cool. He lets us do so much. He doesn't make us pay a lot for rent, and you're pushing it to the limit. Like, you're trying it. You're trying us, and we're not having it. And so we were in like a group chat, and we were like, listen, like, you have to leave. Like, we are getting the landlord involved. Like, this is crazy. Like, you have people coming into our house like without us knowing, and breaking stuff and trashing our house, and like, we can't have this. And basically she was just apologizing, kind of, but kind of not, like just saying like this stuff kind of happens, when this stuff does not happen. No, like, I don't know why like she even was so unapologetic about it, but she was, and it was crazy. So we came back to school, and we were like, no, like, you need to leave. Like, we are going to get you out of here, because we cannot have these things happening. And I was afraid to tell my parents, because my parents were paying for my rent, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know, should I tell them, should I not? Because they're gonna be like, you need to leave, we need to find you somewhere else, this place is unsafe. And like, it just was crazy. Like, she even was selling things out of our house that is not legal. So like, just so much was happening. It was like, what the hell? But she was still unapologetic. She did not care that she was causing all this drama. She was kind of just like, well, I'm here, this is happening, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Nothing was getting through to her. And then we finally put a complaint with our landlord and said, we feel unsafe, like, she stole from us, she has people coming in, this, that, and the third. Like, we're afraid to leave our like house, because what if she breaks into our room and takes our stuff? Like, we don't want that. And basically he changed the locks on our doors and things like that. And then she still kind of was there, because I guess the landlord was empathetic and was like, she has nowhere else to go, so she has to stay here, even though she stole from you guys, trashed your place, didn't clean up, never cleans up, and is causing drama. He didn't really care, but whatever. That's like a whole different story then. And it was just ridiculous. And then towards the end, we couldn't kick her out, we couldn't get her out for nothing, like for anything. We couldn't get her out, like nothing was getting her out, and she wouldn't leave. We said that we would literally call the police on her if she doesn't leave, and she was like, well, I get mail here, so I legally can stay here. What? Like, that doesn't make sense. If someone gets mail at the house, does that mean they can legally stay there? What if a homeless person just says, hey, I live here, I'm gonna start getting mail here? Does that mean they could stay here? Like, legally, can they just say, I'm gonna take this room and stay here? I don't think so. So we were just like, fine, whatever, like, it's towards the end of the school year, like, we don't care, like, just stay here, whatever. So it was like the last couple weeks of school, like probably a month before school was gonna let out, and text from my housemate Victoria saying, oh my gosh, there's people banging on our doors. And I was just like, again? Like, really? Like, come on now. So people were apparently banging on our doors. We were scared it was her crazy ex-girlfriend, but it wasn't. It was her good friend that she stole from. She stole her credit card. The girl was literally banging on our door to the point where Victoria thought that she was going to break the door down. And the girl actually tried to get into the house through the window, but it wouldn't open. And she was just screaming at Kentucky. She was like, Kentucky, you better get your out here because I'm gonna beat your, and all this stuff. And it's just the ratchetness. And so the girl could not get in. Like, she apparently locked the door so that she wasn't able to get in. But what did happen is the girl decided to take a rock and throw it into our window. Just were like I don't even care at this point. Like, she's brought so much drama and craziness. Like, she's brought so much drama and craziness. Like, it doesn't faze me that she did this. So that happened, and I forget, I think she went into the military or something. She went to the military, so she packed up her stuff one day and then she left. And basically she didn't want to tell us she was leaving or anything like that. She was supposed to start helping out with rent and the Wi-Fi. She never paid the guy a dime, which was actually disgusting. I don't know how anyone can live in someone's place and not pay rent. Like, anyone who just uses someone for whatever reason and decides just not to pay them back, like, that's totally disgusting to me, and it does make sense, but to each their own. I say choose who you live with wisely. Make sure they're people who are dependable, who will pay, who won't trash your place, who won't be things that don't work with who you are. Because I know, especially for me, it was hard for me to go through school and classes and stuff like that and then have to come home to just psychoticness, like just crazy, a mess, everything all the time. So if you're someone who probably can deal with that and likes the drama and chaos, then kudos to you, but I would not do it. You couldn't pay me to live in a house with that girl ever again. Disclaimer saying that I'm not trying to bash anyone. I know at one point during freshman year I could have been considered a bad roommate because of things that, you know, young stupid me did. But you know what? It was a one-time thing, and you know, I learned from that mistake and I tried not to make it again. But some people, they just continuously push people. They never learn from their mistakes. They constantly think people have to put up with who they are and their bad traits instead of changing it around and trying to be better than who they were yesterday that made mistakes. And I think that's most important. Of course, we're young. I just graduated from college. When I was a freshman, I was stupid. Watching, please subscribe down below. Like, I know you guys like watching me. I know you guys like hearing my stories. So please subscribe down below. Give me a like. It helps me get seen in the YouTube world. And comment down below if you have any roommate or housemate horror stories that you would like everyone to know. What would you do if you were in my situation? And what is some advice you would give someone else who's watching this, who has a terrible roommate or housemate? Let me know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being the best trophies ever. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye.